Here are some of the top headlines. The NAACP has called to end qualified immunity in Virginia after a now fired police officer pepper sprayed a Black and Latino military officer. Video from the incident went viral last week, and Army Lieutenant Karan Nazario has filed a suit against the officers, seeking more than $1 million. At least 42 people are dead after a boat carrying migrants capsized off the coast of Djibouti in East Africa. The International Organization for Migration says the people were leaving Yemen. And Major League Baseball umpire Joe West has been awarded $500,000 in a defamation lawsuit against former player Paul LaDuca. He sued LaDuca in 2019 after LaDuca said on a podcast that former New York Mets teammate, pitcher Billy Wagner, bribed West into giving him a bigger strike zone by supposedly letting him use his vintage Chevrolet car. Protests continued Monday night after a Minnesota police officer fatally shot a 20-year-old black man during a traffic stop on Sunday. Duante Wright was shot once and died.
It doesn't work anymore. Even the racists can't defend it. It's undefendable. So then the illusion gets broken. And now all these white liberals are out here and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to George Floyd. Guess what? It's been happening to us for 400 years. The only thing changed is we got cameras to prove it now. So we need to make sure that we're out here to get justice for all stolen lives.
We are back again, everybody. Hey, how are you guys in the chat? Just really quick, I wanted to give an update to my audience regarding the things that, we've been talking about for a couple of days. Mainly, I wanted to give an update on the murder of Duante Wright in Minnesota. The snow is starting to fall in Minnesota today. And as we sit here and we look at all of the events that are unfolding, does anybody sort of feel weird about that Black Lives Matters flag? Here's my problem with the Black Lives Matter movement right now. Why did they just buy their fourth house in a multi-millionaire enclave? Why is the owner of the Black Lives Matter movement buying multi-million-dollar homes with money given to the Black Lives Matter movement? Now, I'm going to straight up tell you all right now, if anybody has any information on that lady and any sort of detailed or any kind of findings about any sort of misuse of anything, please let me know. My contact info, I'm going to make it stream across the bottom here. leaksonline@gmail.com. You'll get a faster response if you DM me on IG, but y'all don't kill me because I'm a little slow to respond to my messages sometimes. But I find it really disgusting that a movement I've pushed for so many years, the news, coming out this in the last week or so, is they're buying their fourth multi-million-dollar house. Listen, I can absolutely get behind a movement and help support it and everything, but I don't like it why do we need four houses? Y'all get what I'm saying? Some ain't feeling right with that. And, I just want to say that. But in the interim, I just want to say this. Kim Potter is the woman that shot and killed Duante Wright. She was a 26-year veteran. Believe it or not, a 26-year veteran of this Brooklyn Center police department. So the police chief, Tim Gannon, the man that we saw yesterday walk away from a live press conference, who came back getting all emotional, basically. He looked like he probably should not have been leading that investigation. Well, he went ahead and resigned after 19 years on the force. Kim Potter, 26-year veteran, submitted her letter of resignation this morning. Mayor Mike Elliott is the one that made the announcement. They are getting ready to protest again in Minnesota. The snow is starting to fall, and they are preparing to protest for another night. This is the same general location where George Floyd was murdered just last May, less than a year ago. That incident also led to nationwide protests. And again, people are calling for an end to racial injustice and police brutality. It is said that Duante died of a single gunshot wound. Kim Potter is claiming she didn't know she had her gun. She thought she had her taser when she fired those shots. Duante Wright died very soon after. One of the things that Kim Potter put in her resignation letter was this, quote, "I have loved every minute of being a police officer and serving this community to the best of my ability, but I believe it is in the best interest of the community, the department, and my fellow officers if I resign immediately. Oh yes, it's definitely in the best interest of the community, for sure." This doesn't answer any questions. A photo has been released of her. It's out now. Her name is out. Police Chief Tim Gannon also resigned Tuesday. Commander Tony Grunig, who has been with the department for 19 years, will take over as acting chief. City manager Kurt Bogany was fired. Isn't it crazy how a police shooting can shake up a whole group of people who've been in one place 19, 20 years? Still, the city manager, Kurt, he was at the press conference yesterday also. You remember how they treated that press conference? I was pretty angry when I watched the police chief just walk away during a live presser. Right now, National Guard is in Minnesota. Hundreds of demonstrators are gathered to continue protesting. They say that a decision on whether prosecutors will charge Kim Potter is expected as soon as tomorrow. Right now, Minneapolis and St. Paul have an imposed 10 p.m. curfew. So please be aware to those of you that are listening in Minnesota. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner has said that Duante died of a gunshot wound to the chest, and his death has been ruled a homicide. This is what Tim Gannon has said. This is what her boss said. He said he believed that Kim Potter mistook her firearm for her taser when she shot Wright. I don't know how that happens, but that's what they're claiming. And that's why she needs to be charged like anybody else would be charged. Then you let a jury of 12 people determine guilt or innocence. That's the problem here. We need to stop letting these police kill people. They don't even get arrested. They don't even get charged. They get all of this, what would you call it? All of this special care when they're considering charges. But if it was you or me, they'd be putting charges on us like yesterday. And what would they tell us? Go figure it out in court. Go figure it out in court. See, they know that it's nothing but a hassle. So to the people that they feel matter to them, they'll get all concerned about what charges are coming before they even make the charge. So right now, if this had been me or you, we'd be in the jail right now, in cuffs, with charges, and they'd be telling us, figure it out in court. Well, I would like to turn that right on back around and say to the men and women of Minnesota, shouldn't we be figuring this out in court? Shouldn't this woman be charged? And let a jury of her peers determine her fate like anyone else? It's unbelievable this even happened again, but let alone happened 10 miles away from the very epicenter of what we know as the George Floyd case. They started their third week of the trial yesterday. The mother of Duante Wright, Katie Wright, has said that this day, it was the worst day of her life. She said she never imagined that this was going to happen. I just thought that he was getting arrested. And of course, what do? They want to bring up somebody's background, somebody's past, although a dead man has nothing to say about their background or their past, has nothing to do with what happened to him. Right? Nothing, zero, nothing to do at all as far as what happened to him, But that's essentially where we sit. Guys, I don't know what needs to happen, but what I do know is that due process should definitely be happening, and Kim Potter should be treated like any other American in Minnesota. And I still don't think that's happening. Isn't that something? Feared for her life. She was behind two men, Feared for her life. Unbelievable, All right, guys. Well, listen. More details to come. I have no idea what's going to happen in these nighttime hours. If it gets crazy, you all know I'll be back. But I'll be watching these live streams as this continues. So, y'all have a really good evening, and I'll catch y'all next time.